Today on the GrandLAN video blog, Dresden Files, Killer of Demons, Ultimate Wolverine vs. Hulk, War of Kings, and X-Men and Spider-Man. Welcome to the GrandLAN video blog for books that came out on March 4th, 2009. As always, I'm Craig, your host. This is part 2 of 3. If you haven't watched part 1, go do so wherever you're watching this one, and stay tuned for part 3, also wherever you're watching this one. Let's start with Dresden Files Stormfront number 3. My good friends at the Dresden Files who have been subscribing to the video blog, I know I'm all on their forums, that's great. Thank you guys for watching and supporting the blog. This is more really good stuff. This is a really fun book. I know it's, I believe it's an adaptation. That's what I checked inside the cover, and this one didn't say it was an adaptation, but I was pretty sure that this is an adaptation of the novel, the Stormfront novel, if I've got my facts straight, and I hope I do. Still just excellent. Really well done. I really like the way Harry Dresden is written. He's an interesting protagonist for someone who's never seen the TV show, who's never seen the novels. You know, it's very intimidating sometimes to take a licensed property or a property like this, you know, when people talk about Stephen King's Dark Tower or The Stand or, you know, any of the other licensed properties that get turned into comic books along the way, you know, Buffy or Serenity. If you don't bring knowledge to what is going on, you know, a prior knowledge, sometimes you'll be lost. And here, I feel like, you know, kudos to the Dabble Brothers team for making this very accessible. You know, all you need to know is Harry Dresden is a wizard in Chicago. He's the only one in the book, in the phone book. Done. That's all you need to know. And from there, they take you on amazing thrill rides. It's $4, but it's, you know, oversized every issue. And they haven't let us down yet. This is the second miniseries, and we're on issue 3 of 4. Still great stuff. Continue to check this out if you are. If you're not, I urge you to get on this. Don't feel like you're lost because it's, you know, because you're not a fan of the Dresden Files or whatever. It's really fun stuff. Really nice. A little bit of magic, a little bit of detective work. Just all mixed together there. Really great stuff. Again, another good chapter. This is going to be funny. We're talking about some Chris Yost, so we're going to start with Killer of Demons number 1. I really picked this up because of Scott Wagner. I love his work on Atomic Robo, and I picked it up begrudgingly because Chris Yost's name is on it. As you may know, I kind of have a beef with Chris Yost going back to when Chris Yost and Craig Kyle started writing new X-Men. So anyways, I've always associated Chris Yost with that, rant aside. And really, when he's out on his own in a book like Killer of Demons, you can really see that he has really good writing chops. He sometimes gets stuck with some bad artists or bad concepts or just stuff he can't really make work. It's kind of middle level stuff. But this right here just feels like, I mean, it's Image. It's obviously creator owned, and it's a great idea, and it's being implemented to its fullest extent. It's something he's obviously very behind, and I'm very excited to see Wagner's art. It's so clean and so crisp. Really, the only problem I have with this book is that on the cover you can see Mr. I don't even know. He looks like Murphy from C-Lab, if you've ever watched C-Lab 2010. The main character here, and he doesn't look like Murphy inside the book. That's really my only gripe with this book. It's hilarious. It's about a guy who works at a tobacco company, and he's secretly been enlisted to be a killer of demons. And he has this little angel that follows him around. Nobody can see the angel. And he can see demons, but nobody else can see who these demons are. So these people exist, and they're actually demons, and he has to occasionally kill them. So he starts going on a murderous rampage. And people are like, oh man, there's a crazy guy on a murderous rampage. It's great. It's really funny. The angel part is really fun, with the little angel on the shoulder. And the tobacco company jokes, and I mean, it's really, you can tell there's so many little bits that they're hitting on along the way. It's only a 3-issue miniseries, but I'm sure it's going to be gangbusters, all 3 issues. This is good stuff. Yost and Wagner on Killer of Demons. Check it out if you haven't had a chance already. Moving back to the Marvel stuff, let's start with Ultimate Wolverine vs. Hulk number 3. What a disappointment. What a letdown. This is just kind of like recap, pseudo flashback stuff. Okay, Damon Lindelof, I get it. You know, maybe he wrote number 3 like he was supposedly hadn't approached, and you know 1 and 2 hadn't been out for 2 years and they weren't going to re-release it. But they just re-released 1 and 2. So when issue 3 is like, hey, what just happened? Oh yeah, that stuff. Oh yeah, and then there's other stuff, and we get a nice little time jump, which is of course Damon Lindelof's gimmick. Don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Lost fan and I love watching the show, and I'm really into all these conspiracy theories and all of this, but it doesn't work here. I mean, this is like an Ultimate style thrill ride. For 5 minutes you're going, wow, whoa, hey, lineal use art, ooh, that's good, and then who cares? You close the book and you're like, nah, I could have really done without that book. That's why it's really disappointing. It's kind of a letdown, but let's hope that the next 3 pick it up. Really, when you bill us Ultimate Wolverine vs. Hulk, in my opinion, it should be 6 issues of the 2 guys beating the tar out of each other. It started great with the ripping in half and throwing the legs up. We don't need introspection. We don't need filler issues. This just really didn't need to be. You know, take us on that thrill ride. Don't take us on a thrill ride through what just happened. Don't take us on this quick read and go, yep, that happened, and then that happened, and then that happened, and I think this happened over here, and then now, oh man, I totally got a wicked burn on the Hulk. Wolverine's got some good lines in here. It's okay. But again, it's not anything groundbreaking. It's not anything new. It's not what number 1 and 2 were 3 years ago when they came out. Next up, War of Kings number 1. I know Tears for the Genesis has been psyched for this. I've seen his YouTube page and it's just covered with the other cover. I got stuck with the Ron Lim one. I'm sorry I don't have the other one to review. It all reads the same though. Abnett and Lanning doing some really good stuff here. I think Paul Pelletier, I like his art. I mean, he was on Guardians of the Galaxy, but here there's something about the coloring team or the production, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but it just looks wrong. It just looks a little too cartoony for me. And it's not the pencil style necessarily, and I thought maybe it was too much color and not enough ink, and really I didn't see that either. I tried to put my finger on it, but I just couldn't get it. It was not quality. Storytelling wise, however, this is a really good story. First part of 4, 6, 3, I forget what it is. I want to say 4. I think it sounds right. Let's go with that. 4 issues, correct me if I'm wrong below in the comments area. It's an excellent start to the War of Kings. We've seen all the pieces being laid with all the little things with the War of Kings label on them, like X-Men Kingbreaker and Guardians of the Galaxy and War of Kings Darkhawk. All these little threads being tossed out, and now we finally get the wedding day of Crystal and Ronan, and the crap hits the fan, and it's just there, and it's very, very interesting. It's very exciting, and it ends with just a huge mess, and they're going in a good direction. Abnett and Lanning, great job on this one. It's good stuff. I'm very excited to see where this goes. Lastly, for this installment, we finally get to the end of X-Men and Spider-Man, number 4 of 4. I know this is a 4-part story because Christos Gage has done 3 excellent issues before this and wraps it up with a 4th very excellent issue. I didn't know how this concept was going to be pulled off. Mario Alberti's art, by the way, just top-notch, really fun to look at. You can tell that they kind of color it funny, like they try to give it that Simone Bianchi muted tones, and it just, I don't think it really needs to be done that way, but it's going to be presented that way. However, that's how Marvel's going to do things. But it's a really good story. It's post Brand New Day now. We get a good tie-in back to the other 3. This really wraps it up very nicely. The original concept of the X-Men and Spider-Man teaming up 4 times throughout history, the Silver Age, the 80s, the 90s, and now the modern day,